All right.
That's all I got.
What's that?
That's all I got.
It's so you're going to say it's convertible day?
It is.
Okay.
And halter top, Joe.
No. I've got daughters and granddaughters. We're not doing a halter top thing. Okay. Anyhow, Chris Dick is here, and he is the owner of August Roofing, and always appreciate your time with us.
Yeah, I call it roofing day.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
because this year has really put a wrinkle in us, because even like beginning last week was good, right? But then rain over the weekend, so like we can't tear a roof off on Thursday and leave it have it wide open for the weekend. So then we're juggling around, and so it's been a challenge.
How you anticipate when to work? That's got to be crazy.
Yeah, well, that's why I always say I'm gonna come and take your job when I retire.
Anytime you're ready.
Do the weather.
Good.
I was anticipating you being here this week. Over the weekend, I was looking up rain days, and I think I was in the 30s. I don't remember whether it was like the low 30s, the high 30s, but I was thinking, there's 30 days you can't work and you can't help, and you can't, that's I think it's a big deal anyway from a business standpoint, what have you.
For sure, yeah. I tracked percentage of the hours that we worked, and it was 75% first quarter, so it's pretty significant, yeah.
But you're not roofing during that time, but you can still you're working. You're doing office work, you're billing, you're chasing down people who haven't paid you.
Yeah, those kind of things. But, most of the guys that work for the company are actually put roofs on, right? And unless they're roofing, they don't get paid, true. So... it's hard.
That's true.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But, I was talking to you during the break, and the reason was I was looking up hours and running across roofing stuff. I'm telling you, these things listen to you. Okay, I talk about some of the stuff we do interviews here, and now for the next 3 days, I'll get roofing ads and commercials and stuff like that.
That's funny.
Okay. But I was asking you if you were having the same problems that some other industries are having, because a lot of our materials still come from China and other places like that. I mean, your costs have had to go up because there's a lot of petroleum used in some of your product and what have you. So, what have you seen your costs increase over the last few years, and what about supply chain issues?
Costs have gone up significantly over the last few years. Labor has been another one too. I mean, the minimum wage has been ratcheting up, inflation. So there's significant wage pressure, and then material costs also. I mean, there are some components that are still made in China, like our mats that go into our shingles and stuff, and that sometimes, especially in 22, was like just non-existent. They couldn't get it.
Wow.
And then I have some manufacturers that have stopped some of their product lines, like their real high-end stuff, because they got to keep the factory working on the stuff just to keep their base,
the workers there,
and keep their base. They've got so much sold of the standard shingles, they can't even shut the line down to do the high-end stuff.
Wow. And then you were talking earlier that, there's a lot of stuff you can still get locally, but I would imagine, too, with the cost of gas increase, and to your point, employment increase and what have you, even those supplies are going to cost you much more money.
I mean, anytime gas goes up, what the refineries do is they look at how to get more gas out of a barrel of oil, right? Mm-hmm. And roofing tar is whatever's left over after they get done.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow.
So as the efficiency goes up, there's less and less roofing tar.
Oh, wow.
And hence, supply and demand, higher and higher costs.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you should have had it done 3 years ago, like I told you.
Well, here's the thing, is he's going to save you some money because he's going to educate you and tell you the best thing that you should get for your money, right?
Yeah, I was taught a long time ago. One of the first guys that I was in the roofing industry said there's two things you can take to the bank about roofing. Is your problem's only going to get worse and worse. Roof leaks never fix themselves, and he goes, in this industry, things always cost more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So
when we come back from the break here in a minute, I want to talk to you about maybe the different types of people looking to replace now. Let's just say, a guy like me, I'm probably going to die in my house. I'm not going anywhere, and I probably need to replace that roof soon. Not next week, but soon. I've got the old, I think I was talking to you about it. I thought they were clay tile, but you enlightened me and told me, no, they're cement tiles. They look like clay. And they look like everybody else's. I get they have areas where we're worn through or what have you. But if I was going to replace that, what would I replace it with, and what are some of the tiles that you can talk about when we come back? Talk about the tiles that will last us longer, that we can not have to, play around with or worry about them. So, anyway, Joe Messina, your host.
Sonia Schmidt, your other one host.
Yeah. Trending SCV here on KHTS, AM 1220, FM 98.1. We'll be back in a few minutes with Chris Dick from August Roofing.
Yes, we've got company again.
We got Chris Dick with August Roofing. And Chris, I was asking you, because, people don't know. They don't know what to get. I know that when it comes to tiles, shingles, or whatever, roof tiles, there's so many different ones on the market. And I was joking with you, but it's the truth. Every time we have an interview here, I get roofing ads coming up on my phone for the next 3 days. It drives me nuts. But if I was going to redo my roof, I've got the cement roof on there now. That's got to be heavy as heck. And what are some of the newer technologies that people should be looking at if they're going to do 5 patches? Should they just go ahead and redo the roof and do it so it'll last another 30 years?
Yeah, with tile roofs, you have a couple options. Okay, one is the tile is usually good, unless there's very very few manufacturers where the actual product has gone bad. But so what we do is is called a tile reset. We actually pick up the tile, put a new tar paper and sheet metal underlayment underneath there, reinstall the tile. Add a few extra, about 10% is usually what we end up in breakage and loss. And then your house will be good again for another, 25, 30 years.
That's good.
So that's one option with a tile roof. Another option with a tile roof is you could actually get new tiles, and this would be more of an aesthetic thing. This, wouldn't create any more waterproofing. The new tiles are not any better as far as shedding water or anything, but the cost of our homes, and sometimes it's not significantly more, and it'd be like painting your house. If you're going to spend $10,000-$12,000 on painting your house, why wouldn't you spend some more money on putting new tiles on to make it look a lot better? The new tiles are definitely a lot more architecturally exciting than the old ones. So those are your two options if you have a concrete tile. As far as other, the other roof that you'll see a lot is shingle roofs, right? And the architectural shingles is what we're replacing with now, and they are a lot more attractive. And then there are, like you talked about, your neighbor had a metal tile roof installed. There are some of those new products out there, but predominantly is tile and shingle is what the market is out here. Pretty tried and true products.
I love contemporary houses. I know we don't have a lot of them out here. As a matter of fact, I don't think we have any. But, but if we did, and I'm looking at some of those with a metal roof that you're talking about, would your company do that or be able to supply that?
The contemporary roofs have what they call a standing seam sheet metal roof. That's really what the contemporary look is. And then usually it's a lot of flat roofs too, with just a very little bit of metal in the roof in the front. We don't do standing seam metal roofs. We try and where tile is really our expertise, and then shingles, we do a lot of shingles, and then the flat roofs we could handle the flat roof part.
Because they don't have I haven't seen one contemporary house out here at all.
Chris, when I drive around my neighborhood, we have a lot of those. Again, back to your, my tiles look like clay tiles from the street. And so I drive around the neighborhood. I mean, I haven't looked at a roof until you started coming here with an interview. I never noticed them. But I started noticing, this, I don't want to call it whitewash, but you could tell where they've dulled in certain areas. And and then I started driving around the neighborhood, and I'm looking, they're all like that. They've all got their areas where, I don't know if they were just not made as well as the other ones. I don't know what the deal is, but is that a coating that's wearing off that somebody should be concerned about? Or
that was because you probably have one of the first generation of tile roofs, and the way they made them out of like the white concrete sidewalk that you walk on, and then they applied what they called a slurry coat to them, which is, it's not like a paint, it's more of a wet cement, so it sticks really hard, and then they color that. The slurry coats didn't last very long. So the new generation, there's only a couple slurry coats left because there still is a demand for them. People like the look, so they want that traditional look. Right. But now the cement is colored through. So the color lasts a lot longer
got it. Yeah.
nowadays than the slurry
Oh,
coats.
I
Yeah,
see.
so it's not necessarily a sealer for the tile. It's just the color.
Yeah. No, it did seal the tile, but it doesn't reduce the effectiveness such that I would say, oh, you need to get a new tile. I would
Gotcha.
still say, go ahead and just put new underlayment underneath it if
Gotcha.
that's what you need to do and just get it done.
You said a minute ago you were talking about 10% breakage. Do those cement tiles give you a bigger headache than 10%?
No, the cement tiles. That's when
Really?
when we do a reset, especially if it's a standard weight tile roof, will be if your house was brand new construction and had tile on it, it'll have a standard weight. Those tiles are great. They're strong. You could drive even Joe could walk on one of those.
See,
Whoa.
no, I'm glad he said that because
Yeah.
now I can show
Just
my
stay
wife
off the roof, Joe. Stay off the roof.
Fun.
The
I want to
average,
jump in the pool.
that's smart. The average size house up here, I don't know how many square feet it is for the roof, but how many days would it take you to totally re-roof the average size house?
Average house probably a week, 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
That's
good.
not bad.
Uh-uh.
How many guys is that though?
The three-man crews typically what we run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For us.
So, Chris, if they want to make an appointment or they even just have a question for you, what do they do?
The best, augustroofing.com. And you can fill out a web form there and it'll get us to Armand and he'll be happy to give you a call back and get one of our project coordinators out there and take a look at your project and see what you might need.
Very good. August, like the month of August.
Yeah,
folks.
exactly.
Yes.
My month is coming.
Yeah.
You're suggesting I would know how to spell that.
Oh, I know. Look it up. Google it.
No, I'm like I said, I'm now. I won't say I'm overly fascinated, but since you've been coming here, I've been
Much more
looking up,
interested, right?
and you start to realize you see the differences. My other neighbors' house, they just look like little squares. I mean, they almost look plastic. I hope he's not listening. They almost look plastic, and I just like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to ask him.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you got? Plastic up there? Anyway.
Yeah, he'll love that, Joe.
He was the one though. He was having some trouble with the solar people, and to your point, he had solar company and he had a roofing company, and I now see the real value in having them all at once.
Yep.
Well, Chris, always a pleasure to have you
Yeah,
with
pleasure.
me.
Thank you
It
so
was
much.
awesome.
It's
Thank
always
you,
good to
guys.
see you in studio.